Our names are Lisa Apodaca,
Jelly Vital,
Pam Jimenez,
and Laurie Hatch. And this is Disney Deaths. You know, we've been really looking into Disney deaths lately, and we found out that it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth. Did you know that, Jelly?
You know, I knew that it was the happiest place on earth, but I didn't know that there was any, Disney deaths.
Yeah, so apparently you're not allowed to be pronounced dead at Disneyland. So if there's an accident, they'll take you to the nearest hospital and they'll pronounce you dead there.
But why? I just don't understand why they wouldn't, say anything that they're dead at Disneyland.
Well, I mean, Disney's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, so that's probably why they don't want people to stop going and be scared.
But, accidents happen, don't they?
Yeah.
Not at Disneyland.
But it just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's super strange that even if you did die there, they don't pronounce you dead until
After you left.
Yeah, they take you to the nearest hospital to be pronounced dead. That's the strangest thing.
But wouldn't that be cool, to die at Disneyland?
No, it would. Well, not according to Disneyland, because then that would ruin the happiness.
Yeah. So there's actually been a couple of them. There's one where this 40, I think he was 43. He was cleaning the ride, and the ride got switched on, and it dragged him across the track, and then it trapped him underneath it, and he ended up dying. And Disneyland never said anything about it.
But that's so weird. Why wouldn't they make it known?
They don't want to ruin the happiness.
They don't want to lose money.
Actually, the earliest Disney death was in 1964 when a 15-year-old kid stood up on the Matterhorn ride, and he was looking over and actually fell. And he didn't die there, but he crushed his pelvis, a couple other bones. And actually what happened was he was taken to the nearest hospital and then later died of a brain hemorrhage.
But if all these rides and stuff are unsafe, then why do they still allow people to ride them?
I mean, I guess it's trial and error.
Disney had a parade, and this guy named Javier Cruz was wearing the Pluto costume, and he tripped over the parade, and the parade float of the Snow White, or was it Beauty and the Beast?
I think it was Beauty and the
Beauty
Beast.
and the Beast crushed him, and then there's thousands of people watching, but Disney claimed that no one saw it.
But if thousands of people were watching, then how could no one see it? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I feel they don't have video evidence. I know there's deaths at Six Flags or Knott's Berry Farm, but there's video recordings.
But somebody would have to have something.
I'm sure that Disney threatened a lawsuit saying if you say that you saw this, we're gonna sue you.
Pretty sure.
So, and I'm sure if people did see it, they were oh, free lifetime passes if you don't say anything or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, there was another one.
There was one where this 18-year-old girl was working at Disneyland. Her name was Deborah Stone or something like that. Yeah, Deborah Stone. She was working at this ride, and it was called America Sings, and she got too close to the walls because the walls moved, and she got trapped behind the wall, and it was just crushing her. And people ran to help and everything, and they just couldn't help, so the walls were just crushing her. And the family wanted to file a lawsuit against them, but the day before their trial, they decided to back out. So I'm guessing Disney paid them off. And the scary thing about that is they kept that ride open for 10 years after she died.
Yeah, see, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, and then after the 10 years of having that ride open, people started finding out, and so they're well, crap, we better shut this down. There was another one. It was a 22-year-old, and he was on the Thunder Railroad, and it crashed, and a piece of wood came flying and hit him in the chest, and it filled his lungs with blood. But it was pretty apparent that he would have died right then and there. But once again, takes him to the nearest hospital. He's pronounced dead there, and I think that's pretty strange because that ride still goes.
If all of this stuff is happening and all these rides are unsafe, thousands of people go into the park each day, that's just crazy. Why would you allow people to be near something that is so unsafe?
Well, I think ultimately, after, something bad happens, they fix the ride and then just keep it going.
But wouldn't have the hospital have to report the death also?
Yeah.
How it happened?
But they consider them dead at the hospital, so then when they report it, they're dead at the hospital. So that's
they
what
didn't
would
die on Disneyland property.
Okay.
Well, and what's also strange is that people try to take their loved ones' ashes and dump it on Disneyland's like
Oh, I heard about that.
the grounds.
Yeah. Like there's supposedly like a little boy's ghost, and he haunts the haunted mansion. Like he'll ride the ride with you, because I don't know if he died there or if his family like took his ashes or something. But yeah,
It's just
very
so
real.
amazing to me that like we never find out about this, like that if so many people see all of this stuff, like why hasn't anybody said anything? Like if there's all these like, you know what I mean, like all of these eyewitnesses.
Actually, in 2010, I forget which Disneyland it was. I think it was Disneyland Florida. It wasn't Disneyland Florida. I don't remember, but there was a knife fight between a man and a woman, and they actually caught it on video. I remember my mom and I were like looking it up, and we found it, and like it showed the actual video of the knife fight, and the girl died there, but they like picked her body up and like took her to the nearest hospital.
What's crazy too is that there's actually been a suicide at Disneyland. There was this guy, and him and his girlfriend or I think just his girlfriend was working at Disneyland, and he got into where like everybody kind of like meets up, and he had a gun, and he took 2 security guards hostage, and after a while like he let them go, but he like turned the gun on himself and he pulled the trigger. So like he killed himself just because he was so upset about this breakup that they had. But it happened at Disneyland, and nobody ever hears about it.
That's also weird to me because like Disney security is super like uptight. Like you can't bring in like glass water bottles. So that's just so weird that how would he get in with a gun?
I think it's weird as someone who's never been to Disneyland and hearing about all these things. It's like it makes me skeptical about going and like getting on the rides. But like I've known people who said, "Oh, it was like the best time of my life," and so it's just like,
No, yeah, I've been to Disneyland and it's like amazing. Like you would never think that something like this tragic would happen.
Because you really do feel happy at Disneyland, and there's actually secrets to that. There's little vents like throughout the park in different places, and they release smells.
Oh,
So there's
they do?
one, there's one on like Main Street or something like that, and it just smells like sweet, like desserts, to make you want all the desserts on the side. And if you go to like the Indiana Jones ride or Pirates of the Caribbean, you just smell like beach water, like murky water.
Oh, okay. Now.
So that's why like when you go to certain places, it smells how you would think that place would smell, but you don't realize it.
all right, getting back on topic with our deaths. There was another one, which ride? It was a boat ride. Which one was that? They were going through the water. It was like Finding America or something, and there was a metal wire that had come loose and actually killed 2 people, decapitated one, and I don't know what happened to the other one, but super strange.
That is strange. That is scary. It's just like you're going to have like a great time with your family. Like you don't expect anything like this to happen.
Oh, and when it does happen, it's such a tragedy, and you're just like, and then nobody hears about it. But in that, like, you're not giving the recognition to the dead that they should get.
Right.
Like they
it's
died
just so
here.
unexpected.
Yeah. Well, and there was another one where 2 brothers, they had managed to stay on the park. They were on Sawyer's Island, and they had managed to like evade security, and so they were trying to like swim back from Sawyer's Island, and he had his little brother on his back. I forget the guy's name, and he had drowned, but security had found the little boy. He had managed to stay afloat by doggy paddling, and they found the little boy, but they didn't find the brother's body until the next day. So clearly he is pronounced dead at Disney, but once again, not gonna be it.
Yeah, that's just so weird to me that we have all of this evidence and stuff that it's just crazy that no one will speak up about it. Like, it's just so weird to me. I just don't. I'm just on the fence about this. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's all we have time for today.
Let us know how you feel about these Disney deaths. Do you think you'll ever go to Disneyland after this?